Hey guys, welcome back to channel. In today's video we are going to see what is React.js state. So in React, the state refers to an object that holds information about a component's current situation. But before getting started, you might have a question that what is state and why it is required. To understand it, so this is an code example that I had created. Here you can see we had declared a count variable. There is one increment function, and inside the heading tag we had entered the count variable, and on clicking of the button the count will be incremented. Okay, so at first it should show default, which is 0 values, and once the button is clicked the count should be incremented and should be shown like that. But if you go to the site that is running and if you click on the increment, the value will not be changed. That's why state is there. So React state refers to an object that holds information about component's current situation. Okay, so this information can be changed over time, which is not possible by directly declaring variable like this. And this value is changed because of the user actions or maybe of data fetching, whatever it is. And when the state changes, React re-renders the component to reflect the updated UI. So in this case, even if we are changing the variable, this component is not getting re-rendered. That's why we are seeing the old values. To solve this issue, React have something called as state. So for this, it is very easy to declare the state. So the syntax is, first we need to declare a const variable which will have this array like structure. Then it will take two variables, one is count and one is set count, let's say. So first one will hold the value, and this second one is for setting or initializing or changing anything. Anything means this count variable. For whatever we do with this set count, the value will be reflected here. And the declaration is useState. It will be imported from React, and inside that we need to pass a default value or the value which will present at the time of initialization. So I will pass it as 0. Okay, if you go to site and see the 0 has appeared. Now even if I change, it will throw an error. It is an assignment to constant variable. Okay, so for that, rather than using the count plus plus, we will use set count. We had used set count. Now how to change the variable? So in the round brackets, just pass the value that you want to set to this count. Let's say I want to set the previous value plus 1. If I do it, then I can go to the site, and if I click on increment, you can see the values have been changed. If I again go, every time I click, the value will be changed. So this is an example of the use state. This use state variable that we declared holds the state of this component, and using this use state we can define anything, which can be integer, which can be a string value, which can be object, anything. So if say you want to declare it as an object, you can pass object here. If you want to pass array, you can pass array, let's say 1 2 3. If we go and show, the array will be shown here. Okay, you can declare anything. Now why this is required? So basically, if let's say at the time of initial reload of your website, you want to show something to the user which needs to be changed later. So for example, this count is a result of any API call where you are going to show the user details, and with a click of this button the user detail will be changed. So in that case, use state are used to hold the state of the current component. So this was all about the React use state. In the coming videos, we will see the actual use case of this use state, and there are multiple hooks in React. For example, there is use state which we had seen now, there is use effect, there is use context, and many more, which we will see in the coming videos. Now, one thing to understand is what is difference between state and props. So both state and props are used for storing data in React, but they serve different purposes. For example, state, which is managed within the component, which are mutable, which can be changed, which we had seen here, the value changes, and they are used to store the dynamic data that changes over the time. But with props, they are passed from parent component to a child component. They are immutable, that we had seen they can't be changed, and they are used to share data between components. So state can change over the time, and it causes re-renders. Re-renders means when the value is changed, when we click on this set count, the component re-renders again. It means it start executing this component again. So that's why they have said here that it causes re-renders. Where props are used to pass data from one component to another, but are not directly modified by the component. It means the props are not modified even if it passed down from parent to child. So this was all about the React.js states and what is the difference between React.js state and props.